You're tuned to The Leading Edge with Sent, the pulse of cricket podcast. I'm Sent. Every week we bring you the stories, insights, and moments that drive this beautiful game. So hit the subscribe button and let's get straight into it. Welcome to The Leading Edge with Sent at Roundly Podcast Studio. It's another episode number 18, and that is dedicated to the series between South Africa and Pakistan women. And that has ended 2-1 to South Africa in the T20, 2-1 to South Africa in the ODIs. And we also had an interesting match. It was the SA Merging versus Pakistan, and the SA Merging actually won that match. It was an interesting one. Pakistan scored 307, and the SA Merging would go on and score 308. So we will talk about what we saw in the team, what we liked, what we didn't like, what made sense, what didn't make sense. And we end off the show with the squad that will be touring New Zealand. Yep, it is out. And even there, I'll say what I like and what I didn't like. Only one thing that I didn't like, you probably catch it within the show though. Like something that doesn't actually make sense to me. But hey, so South Africa wins the T20 series 2-1. Interesting thing is that the first two matches were quite close, I would say. I will read out the scores later. The first two matches were quite close in favor of South Africa. Third match was a big win by Pakistan. ODI series, also kind of the same in the sense of first two matches quite close between South Africa and Pakistan in favor of the Proteas. But Pakistan wins the, yes, I'm wearing this t-shirt, the black ODI. They win the black ODI, but here's the thing, Pakistan wins that convincingly. I think they win that match by 91 runs. Should South Africa be worried? I put that up in the sense of South Africa was expected to win both series, granted. But the way that they lost their matches, they lost them quite a huge margin in the sense that T20 series, I think South Africa lost that by 53 runs or 51 runs, which is crazy if you really think about it. And the main thing that happened in that match was that the batting team or the batters literally choked. Like, they literally choked. So now, what is what? And who disappointed in the series and who did well in the series? So let's start with the T20. All right. I'll read something specific right now. In terms of the batters, all right, Fatima Sana was literally the one that scores the most runs. She scored 146. Laura scored 112. And then the second best batter from South Africa scored 45 runs, and that was Sunelise. And then you had Tasman Brits, who scored 45 runs as well. Anari Dirksen scored 39. Nadine de Klerk scored 31. And then Kyla Reineke scored 29 runs in two matches. But the thing about Kyla is that she played two matches. And she only batted for one match. But the 29 that she scored was amazing. That 29 that she scored is enough to say, here's your plane ticket. I see New Zealand for you, but you're actually going to England. Because I do feel South Africa finally has that finisher. I've said it in the show before that Kyla is a finisher for the future. That was before she was picked within the SA team. And I think South Africa has that player because she's been doing it in domestic cricket. And this is something that she's used to. I understand at times where people want to make her to bat at 4. But she's a strong girl. She hits that ball. She knows how to finish innings. And I've said this before in the sense of to be a finisher is a skill. It's not an easy skill, it is a difficult skill. And we were trying to make Dirksen that finisher. And I'm not saying Dirksen cannot do the job. What I'm saying is Dirksen is a top order batter. Dirksen should be opening the innings. That's my take in the sense of she knows how to score quickly. You need positive minded players to win a T20 tournament. And I do feel like Dirksen is that player, but she just needs to be given the responsibility. She needs to be given the chance. And if South Africa is not going to give her the chance, it's going to be a while until we see her full potential at international level. Those of us who do check out domestic cricket, we do know what she does at number one or at number two or at number three. She hits the ball. Strike rate is also good. Now, the question is, who would she take a spot for? And a few months ago, I think it's a few months ago, had a conversation with Ulandoka here, right here, with Corne. Hopefully she comes back soon with the season almost ending so that we can just talk about everything cricket at the end of the season. But in the sense, I did say in the sense, with Tasman Brits, do you think it's time for her where South Africa is going to look to probably find a way to move her? Or does she get kept in the side? And I do feel she's going to be the sacrificial lamb between her and Ulora. Ulora is South Africa's best batter, most talented to date. But I do feel Tasman might get sacrificed soon, but we'll see. And the reason why I say that is because at domestic level, Tasman hits the ball. Her strike rate tends to be really good. But with Tasman, the potential yakhe, we actually see it in domestic cricket, and she hits a ball. We know her for that. But at international level, she hits a ball, yes, but the issue tends to be the strike rate. And this is where I do feel Anari gets one, if not two, over Tasman Brits. So if Anari opens the batting, who should she open the batting with? Quite interestingly enough, I don't think Ulara Goodall is a good option. I do not know why we had Ulara, in the sense of she's had opportunities. And that's one of the things that just did not make sense to me, honestly speaking. It did not make sense. Again, I wish Unondumiso Shangas had probably been given an opportunity to play in the T20 series. Her being dropped does not make sense. But if you're looking at South Africa's probably best 11, maybe Unondumiso does not enter. Granted. But Ulara also does not enter. Now, the question is, we sacrificed to Ulara. No, we sacrificed to Laura to bat at 3. Do I disagree with that? No. I still believe our captain's best place is probably at 4. And the only reason I say at 4 is because she gets to be forced to hit from ball 1. But now she has adapted her game in the sense of she knows how to get her strike rate quite high. So her batting at 3, fine, works, perfect. But I still say, and I say this and remember this, Anari is an opening batter. Get her there. I know there are young batters coming out in SA, domestic cricket, but Anari is an opening batter. And Faye is an opening batter as well. It didn't make sense why Faye was not part of the T20 side, because at the end of the day, Faye has been dominating T20 cricket. She hasn't even been dominating ODI cricket in South Africa this season. her main thing has been T20 cricket. So her being picked for the ODIs was quite interesting, but I'm not there right now. But one player that did not probably had a nightmare of a series was actually Dane. Dane had a nightmare of a series in the sense of she scored only 19 runs. Sune did not have the greatest with the bat, but she was good with the ball. So Sune, the off spinner, is is working for South Africa. Sune, the leg spinner. Those of you who started to watch cricket 2 years ago, you'll never know Sune, the leg spinner. Sune, the leg spinner, though, did get over 100 ODI wickets for South Africa. But now we're living in an era of Sune, the off spinner, and Sune, the off spinner, is good. She's doing her job. Sune, the leg spinner, and Chloe Tryon, the left arm orthodox spinner. It was quite long. So, in the sense of Chloe Tryon, she started as a left arm seamer. Now she's a left arm finger spinner. Sune started off as a leggy, and now she's a offie. So that's really working for South Africa. And I had this conversation before. Is off spin or finger spin something really easy to take upon? Because it seems like when some players are done with whatever their art, they move to finger spin. And it seems like it's actually working for some, and maybe for some doesn't really work, because I know Annika Bosch as well. He's trying the offie line, and it's not hasn't gone as well as Sune, but it is what it is. So Sune was South Africa's leading uh, wicket taker in the series, actually in the whole in the T20s and in the ODIs. She took 6 wickets in the T20s, and I think she took also 6 wickets in the ODIs. So good for Sune. Umlaba got 5 wickets in the ODIs. Wasn't as lucky in the T20s. I think she took 4 wickets in the T20s. So good for her as well. But I would say Umlaba had an interesting series in the sense of she is South Africa's premium spinner. But it feels like teams are making sure Okoba, they don't attack her. And I think that's why Usune tends to get more wickets right now, in the sense of, but if we're looking to attack South Africa, which spinner do we attack? You know, unless Umlaba is having an off day, then maybe they will attack her, but they oppositions know what to do. So in the ODI side, Laura didn't have the greatest ODIs. Nadine de Klerk also didn't have a good tour. Like the series, both the T20s and the ODIs, she wasn't so great. With the ball, she was good. Ayanda Hlubi, I do feel like South Africa needs to keep her within, but I do feel she needs to bowl more overs. She did well in some matches. In some matches, she didn't do so well. But I think the player that surprised everyone in this tour, if I'm going to call it a tour, because South Africa didn't tour, in this series, it was Usinalo Jafta. I think her haters are probably pissed. Usinalo Jafta made history in the sense, well, could we call it history? Yes, we can call it history. She did 2 things. She became the second Black African player to score a 50 for the Proteas. And she scored her 50 in record time. And she was very entertaining in helping Aneri get South Africa to the finishing line. It's a pity that Aneri didn't get 100 in that match. I think she was 97 not out. But guess what? Sinalo finally showed what she can do. And I actually hope the same thing that happened to Shangas doesn't happen to Sinalo. Sinalo has been playing in this number 6 position now for a while. Now the question is, will she be a number 6 for in the T20 side as well? Or she's just a number 6 for the ODI side? that's one is going to be interesting because at the end of the day, we still have players, SA, that are who have better strike rate. You expect to Chloe to have a better strike rate. She also didn't have a really good tour, which quite interesting. All the players that went to the WPL literally didn't have a good tour. Did not have a good series with the bat, particularly. But with the ball, they were okay. Marizan Cup with the ball, not so okay. I think she got 1 wicket in the series, but she played 2 matches. Again, she got ill, unfortunately injured. She couldn't play, and she's also won't be going to New Zealand. Should South Africa be worried about Marizan? Hell no. Marizan is like literally a premium bowler, premium player. Just enjoy Marizan being there. It has the same effect when I speak about KG. If you remember, I had spoke about KG in the sense of he cannot be dropped. And what did KG do afterwards? After that Afghanistan series, KG has been KGing, leading the bowling attack. Granted, he has not been the most successful in the World Cup, but guess what? He's shown his class. He's shown his leadership. And that's Marizan, especially in that bowling lineup. And then we move on in the sense of now the players that did well. So I spoke about Sinalo. Sune did well in the series. But I'm going to again speak about a specific player that I've been talking about now for a while. And that's Dirksen. Dirksen did well in the ODI series. She finally showed again what she's made of. She scored 175 runs, best of 90. It's not 97, sorry. It's a best of 90, and she averaged 58. Sune got a best of 93, averaged 75. So Usinalo got the best of 57, not out. And then Brits got the best of 77. Laura got the best of 43. Her highest score was 43. So it was actually a bad series for Laura, the captain. I think this was her worst series since she's became a captain for South Africa. Should South Africa be worried? No, nothing to worry about. This is Laura. Chances are she's going to go to New Zealand and score probably at least 100 in the ODIs and probably 250s in the T20s. Again, I'm back to Dirksen. What should South Africa do? I still think where they batted her in the ODIs, I'm fine with that. Her batting at 4-5, I'm good with that. But in the T20 series, can we finally get her to open? And then as for Ruth Dane, what now? Because the reason why most South Africans actually were advocating for Ruth Dane, it was because we didn't know what to do with Dirksen. Sune was not the Sune. We didn't have Okaila at the end. We still don't know what to do with Nadine. Nadine was not Nadine like she's Nadine now when she's on fire. And then Chloe sometimes was on and off, especially in the last, I would say, 24 months, actually more than 24 months. But now she's getting her form back, I think. So the WPL did help just a bit, but it didn't translate in this series. But I think it might translate in this coming series against New Zealand, hopefully against India, hopefully against India. So the question is, what now with Dane? Because here's the thing. If you opened with Dirksen and you open with Ufei Tenecliff, and then at 3 you have Laura, at 4 you have Sune, at 5 who would you have? Dane? I don't know. I don't know, because at the same time, at 5 you can actually have Nadine. At 6, Sinalo Jaft. At 7 is Chloe Tryon. Then you have Kayla Reinecker. So, and then you have your 3 bowlers. like specialist bowlers, be it Tumasabata class, Nonkuleko Mlaba, Ayabonga Kak. So in that team that I just said, where does Dane fit? So she has to literally fight for a place. And I think I even say even Umarizan in that 11. Because if I didn't, that's blasphemy. But either way, what I'm saying is that Udane now has to really, really fight for her spot. And maybe her spot is at opening because she's been opening for Western Province. In T20 cricket for Western Province, she's been opening. Maybe she takes first place, but how many people are going to be happy with that? Because again, what's the point of doing well in T20 cricket if at national level you're not going to be considered to play for the Proteas, even though you've been doing well? Then what's the point? But anyways, Karabo Meso. This is like my last point about this series, and then I speak about Ilanduk, the team that's going to New Zealand. Karabo Meso, I said the last time she needs to score runs. She has to score runs. And this is not a pressure on the young player, but she needs to score runs. But now the question is how she's going to score runs if she's not playing. Because it's clear Usinalo is the number one choice. It's clear Usinalo is going to be the number choice for probably the next 2 years. And Usinalo, I rate her keeping skills and I rate her athleticism. So why is Ukarabo not in domestic cricket actually playing more so that you can bat more, get that confidence? Because that really worked for Kyla. Ukarabo and Kyla were playing together. You know, they played together in the first World Cup for South Africa. You know, they played together in the last World Cup for South Africa. So you look at the batting, you would say batting a Kyla is further than Karabo. You look at them just as players, you'll say Kyla is probably further. And the only reason for that is that Kyla has actually been playing for Western Province, especially in the last 2 years as well. Whereas Ukarabo has been in and out of the South African side for the last year or so. And I do believe that was actually time for her to harness her skills as a batter. In my future team in South Africa, I still say Ukarabo is not a wicketkeeper. I really want Ukarabo to be more of a batter. In my future of South Africa, I still say Ujayli is South Africa's number one wicketkeeper. That's just my opinion. I'm not a selector yet. I am not a coach. I still say Ukarabo. Like as much as we are going crazy about Unondemiso Shangese, we go crazy about the accomplishments Kasinalo draft. I think the player that in the future we will go crazy about a lot is Ukarabo Meso. But if Ukarabo won't be playing, won't be developed properly, then I think we may take too long to celebrate her, or we may never celebrate her the way that we're supposed to celebrate her. And that's the only thing I'm worried about. And I can't talk much because there are the people at the top. They know what they're doing. You know, I guess they have their best interests at heart. I'm just speaking from in front of the camera and saying my opinion based on maybe my little knowledge about the cricket or player development. But either way, I do worry about Ukarabo, that she may take longer to get to the top. In terms of wicket keeping, she's good, man. Athleticism, she's good. But do I see her as South Africa's number one? No, not because she's bad. Just that I wanted to be South Africa's number one batter. I wanted to be out there at the top with your likes of Dirksen, with the likes of Ukaila in the future, with the likes of Laura, because Laura is going to be there for a while. Like people tend to think Laura is actually old. Laura is actually not old. Nadine de Klerk is probably going to be batting in the top four soon. So, and there's other younger batters that are coming up. Now we move to the squad is here in New Zealand. So Create South Africa announced the squad that will be touring New Zealand. And there will be what they said, there will be head to head. I mean, not double headers, head to head. There'll be double headers with the men's side. Let's go to this team. Our captain, Laura, Tasman Pritz, Sune, Dane, Masabata, Class, Chloe, Nadine, Karabo, Ayabonga, Nunkululeko, Ayanda, Sinalo, Anari, Tumi, and Kayla. So it's a solid team. I do feel though Unondo Miso should have been part of the team. It doesn't make sense why she's dropped. It doesn't make sense why she's not getting any playing time. In the sense of Unondo Miso did so well when South Africa was playing Pakistan. I think in the one ODI, she did well. When South Africa was playing against Pakistan, well, the SA emerging side was playing against Pakistan, she did well in that match as well. So why she dropped? I don't understand. And here's the thing. She was there as a batter at some point in the team, a batting all-rounder. And all of a sudden, there's no reason. She's batting at 8, 9. They literally took her where she used to be. So that's the only thing that I'm kind of disappointed about. Maybe this is something I'm disappointed about the series itself or the coach. And again, the coaching staff probably has a plan. We don't know their plan, but how it looks right now, it does not look good. It literally does not look good. You had your player, you developed your player, and all of a sudden you've lost trust because that's what it looks like. We went to go get Laura Goodell. Laura Goodell, I don't know how many chances she's had. And now she's not a bad player. And she's the only left-handed batter, I guess, for South Africa in the top order or in the top 4, top 5. What's the point of getting a left-handed batter if that left-handed batter is not going to take the opportunity? You know, so it is what it is, man. I would have really liked Nondomiso Shangas to be part of the squad because, again, Olara didn't travel with the squad. She's not part of the squad. So what was the point? Was it the point to give her a lost chance? Maybe she sparked something? Because end of the day, I do feel like had Laura Goodell been there for Western Province chances are wouldn't be in a losing streak. Chances are Western Province is in a losing streaks now. They finally lost an ODI, T20 match, and they lost another T20 match. So, but they will reach the final in the T20 series, in the T20 Cup, Pro 20, Hollywood Bets Pro 20. They will play the final, likely with the Lions, as opposed to what's going to happen in the Pro 50. It's quite interesting. We'll get to that when time comes. But that's literally the end of our show. South Africa is going to New Zealand. The men are also going there. Good luck to the gents. And well done to the ladies for winning the series. Because one thing I didn't say, I didn't actually congratulate them in winning the series. They won the series. That's a good thing. But we just had to talk about these other things. And we are getting closer to the World Cup. So that's a good thing. Oh, and another thing that was announced by Create South Africa was the team that will be touring Nigeria. So SA U19, the women's side, will be touring Nigeria. They'll be playing some matches there against Rwanda, Nigeria, and I forgot who else. So Ujeli Philander will be part of that side. I do know there's a Poland player that I like, Danieli Pashov, that a great orator, should be part of the squad. So it's a strong squad. It's actually a strong squad, but I hope they don't take these matches for granted, because if they do take these matches for granted, they will lose. They will lose because those pitches, chances are they're not the best. those pitches, chances are they're not the best, so they need to knuckle in. Ashley Bernard, who's also part of that squad. She's from Mpumalanga. Good batter, good young batter. So yeah, that's our show number 18. Thank you again. Please don't forget to subscribe. And Scent is out. Leading Edge with Scent, signing off at Roundly Podcast Studios. See you guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Leading Edge with Scent, the Pulse of Cricket podcast, proudly produced by Roundly Podcast Studio in partnership to bring you the stories and the voices of cricket. Until next time, stay on the leading edge of the game.